Welcome to the Adventurous Podcast. I'm your host, Deidre Perry, and these are my co-hosts. And weekly, we will be coming to you to bring you the latest information in the world of agriculture. We invite you to join us every Saturday from 10 to 10:30. Join us. Come on, take an adventure. Good morning, and welcome to the Adventurous Podcast. I'm your host, Deidre Perry. And as you can see, my normal co-hosts, they're missing in action. So to all my younger adventurers, I want to encourage you to please do the naming submissions for our co-hosts. They don't want to show their faces without names, and so they're not joining the podcast on today. But if you start sending in those naming suggestions, I'm sure they will. In fact, I want to go over our contest rules really quickly. I'm not sure if you can see our basket here, wonderful goodies, and I'm going to tell you how to get that goodie basket and get our co-hosts back on site. Contest rules go as follows. We want you to submit your naming ideas for our three co-hosts, and the names must accompany a 2-paragraph explanation that has a foundation in agriculture. Names must be original. You can't give us any name that's on a cartoon character. You have to make that name up. And to be eligible, you have to be between the ages of 3 and 13. Naming suggestions must be received by 4/30/2021 with a statement of parental consent, and submissions must be emailed to deidreperry@gmail.com. Now, I know we don't have 3-year-olds that will write 2-paragraph explanations, but parents, when they tell you the name that they'd like to name our male and female pigs or our sidekick cow, make sure you write that out for them. Now, if you are selected as one of the winners, we have this awesome gift basket for you. And additionally, we have something for your parents, courtesy of Earthblend Coffee, We Believe Digital, and New Self-Development and Training. And we will also invite you on the show with our other contest winners so that you all can be honored right here on air. So again, we want you to go over to www.adventurouscareers.com. And you can submit there, or you can submit your naming suggestions to me at deidreperry@gmail.com so that we can get our co-hosts back on set, right? We want them to come back. We love our co-hosts, and so we want them to come back on air. So we want to make sure that you go over and help them out. Now, also, we have some older adventurers for our farmers, our minority and SDL, our farmers, our local producers. We are starting a buy local guide. This area is a food desert, and it shouldn't be. There's not a lot of grocery stores. However, there are a lot of producers. And so we want to assist you with getting what you produce from farm to table. Be sure to go over to www.newsouthdt.com and send us the name of your farm, your contact information, and what you're producing, and we would like to include you in our Buy Local guide. Again, that is www.newsouthdt.com. Now, we're going to continue learning about agriculture every week because there are so many adventures in the world of agriculture, and we're teaching our younger people as well as our older ones new things every week. And so we have our word of the week. Last week, our word was agroecology, and that's where we work with the environment instead of against it. And this week, our word of the week is conservation. And conservation, the definition for that is preservation, protection, or restoration of the natural environment and of wildlife. Again, conservation is the preservation, protection, or restoration of the natural environment and wildlife. We want to invite all of our young adventurers and our not so young adventurers to follow us every week and get that word of the week so that you can get new definitions and terminologies in the world of agriculture. I have a lot of stuff coming up for you. We're going to take a quick break. But before we go to break, I want to remind you about our show lineup. Every Tuesday at 7:30, we have Socrates Garrett Live. And on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m., we have the Tanya G Show. Followed on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. With the Doors of the Church with Pastor Stuckey. And on Fridays, we have the Mississippi Link Live, giving you all of the latest in the national and local news. And again, on Saturdays at 10 a.m., you know where to come, right here for your adventure. Be sure to tune in, and we'll be right back after the break.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
Welcome back from the break. Okay, so this week is a very special week, and I want to make sure that I keep everyone up to date on everything that's going on in the world of agriculture and in conservation. And this week is our Earth Day. This week, April 22nd, Thursday, was our actual Earth Day. And of course, we celebrate Earth Day all week long, and I just want to tell you a little bit about it. Earth Day actually started in 1970, and it was observed then when 20 million people took to the streets to protest against environmental degradation. The event was triggered by the 1969 Santa Barbara oil spill, as well as other issues such as smog and polluted rivers. For the next half century, Earth Day continued to play an important role in environmental activism. The landmark Paris Agreement, which brings almost 200 countries together in a setting common to target to reduce global greenhouse emissions, was signed on Earth Day 2016. According to earthday.org, and we'll have that website up for you, Earth Day aims to build the world's largest environmental movement to drive transformative change for people and the planet. And the movement's mission is to diversify, educate, and activate the environmental movement worldwide. Today is Saturday, and we invite you to go over to earthday.org. There's a bunch of activities taking place. In fact, right here in Jackson, Mississippi, you can join the United Universal Unitarian Church at 3209 Northwest Street in Jackson. From 12:30 to 5 p.m., they are celebrating Earth Day all day long. They ask that you bring a mask, or they will provide you one. The activities will include a community vegan lunch, collection of plastics for recycling, accepting donations for the Pay What You Can University Universal Thrift Store, exploring the vision we have for buildings and grounds. They're also inviting people to come over. They're going to have some different activities for the kids. They're going to participate in some cleanups, outdoor drums, and they're going to service some local properties around the area. There will be bathrooms available. They will also have hand sanitizers and masks if you do not have them. The location of the church is 3209 Northwest Street in Jackson, and they will be having activities today from 12:30 to 5. We want to make sure that you participate in Earth Day. We want to take care of our environment because we believe in agroecology and in conservation. I'm going to help you learn all of those words of the weeks. We're going to keep them coming. Next week, we will have a new one. And next week, we will be on a different event. But Earth Day can be every day, and you can be a conservationist every day by making sure you do your best to take care of the planet in which we live. Now, speaking of that, I have a student highlight, and our student highlight, we're going to have a student highlight and farmer highlight every week. We want to make sure that we are paying homage to those who are doing their part to conserve our environment. And this week's highlight is Desmond Threets Jr. He is a 7-year-old out of Lithonia, Georgia, and he is starting a YouTube channel called DJ's Garden. He last summer grew strawberries and cabbage, and he hopes to grow so much more this year. We want to say hi to Desmond, to tell him to keep growing your own garden and to let others know that you can grow your own garden too, even if you're in an apartment. You can grow your own food no matter where you're located, and we have tips for that on our website. We will also be starting a summer grow box program where we'll be providing seeds and the instructions on how to do a raised bed out of different small boxed materials, where you can be a part of feeding yourself and taking care of the environment by growing your own food. Now, our next segment is also related to growing food, and that is what we've promised every week, and that is information on the CARES Act. Last week, we went through the CFAP application and some of the other information relevant to some farmers who may want to get money for lost or damaged crops and products. This week, I want to talk to you about some relief that is being offered to farmers. And I said on last week we would be talking about this segment and this portion of the CARES Act, and that is the farm storage facility loans. Okay, so we'll go over to our this website just so you can kind of take a look at what I'm seeing as we're doing so that you guys can participate as well. At farmers.gov/coronavirus, if you go to that website, and we'll have that up on the screen there for you momentarily. Okay, that is farmers.gov/coronavirus. They've placed a statement on their website where it says that the USDA is temporarily suspending debt collections, foreclosures, and other activities on farm loans. More information about this can be found on farm loans and farm storage facility loans. So today we're going to talk just a little bit about the farm storage facility loans and how you can reach out and take advantage of applying for that. So some people get loans from USDA, and it helps them with the expenses relegated to taking care of their farm or their property. Now, if you owe the USDA money, you will go through just what any other person who owns property goes through when they're not able to pay. So there is debt collections, there are foreclosures, there are other activities that take place that put even more stress on the farmer or the rancher. Well, the USDA has said they're going to help alleviate some of that stress, and they're going to do that by temporarily suspending. Now, it doesn't mean wipe out. It means that they're suspending debt collections, foreclosures, and other activities. So that means for a limited time, for a limited moment, you won't have to worry about them pursuing you actively on any monies that you may owe. However, they are advising you to work with their service centers. And on the website there is a farmers.gov service locator. And I will click that so that you can see where I'm going, and you will be able to see as well. And at that Find Your Local Service Center link, you will select your state. And right now I'm broadcasting from Mississippi, so we're going to select Mississippi. You will select the county that you're in. I'm presently filming from Hinds County, so we're going to select Hinds County. And you will be given a list of the nearest service centers that can assist you. So if you are going to take advantage of having some of your collections and your debt suspended, then you would want to go to this site, put in your state and your city, and it will give you information as to where your local service center is. Now, you will need to call, and as you see, it has the physical address, it also has a contact information, and it has a phone number with an extension. You would want to place a phone call if you're going to the Jackson Service Center. Scott Dooley is the person listed as your contact. You see his phone numbers there listed as well. I won't read it over the air. However, you will contact your local person, and they will give you a list of the items that you would need in order to take advantage of this. It's also, the USDA, in addition to the suspension of foreclosures and collections, the USDA is also extending deadlines for producers to respond to loan servicing actions, including loan deferrals and consideration for financially distressed and delinquent borrowers. So they're actually, delinquent borrowers. So they're going to try to help you as much as they possibly can. The temporary suspension is in place until further notice, and it is expected to continue while the nation is still going through the COVID-19 disaster, and at least as long as the disaster declaration is in place. So if you are a farmer and you would like to take advantage of this opportunity, by all means, go to farmers.gov/coronavirus, click on the link for the service centers, enter your city and state, and it will produce a list of service centers and the contact information so that you can go in directly and discuss your case with someone there. Now, that was very quick And that is because their process is going to require you actually sitting down and talking with someone about your actual loan or foreclosure or whatever action that you're going through. And that's not something per se that I could address here. But our technical assistance, I can address if you would like to take advantage of some of the other options through CARES Act. We invite you to go to www.newsouthdt.com if you would like to receive technical assistance from us, or if you just like to ask a couple of questions about how you can take advantage of funding through the CARES Act. Our farmers are so important to us. We know that you take very good care of our bodies and of the land, and we want to make sure that we're helping you. Now, this was a very short show. It was a very short adventure, but next week we have another adventure lined up for you. So I want to invite you to come back. And before I go, if you need further inspirational content through the week, I want to invite you every Tuesday to tune in at 7:30 p.m. for Socrates Garrett Live. And on Wednesdays, the Tanya G Show, where the show's guest is the star of the show. Additionally, on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m., we have The Doors of the Church Are Open with Pastor Stuckey. And on Fridays, we have the Mississippi Link Live, bringing you the latest updates with national and local news. And of course, on Saturdays, be sure to come right back here with me for another adventure at 10 a.m. We want to make sure you're tuning in. We thank you for watching the Adventurous Podcast. We thank you for naming our co-hosts. We thank USDA, NRCS, NSDT, Earthblend, and We Believe for sponsoring this show. And we look forward to seeing you again next Saturday for our next adventure. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Adventurous Podcast. I'm your host, Deidre Perry, and these are my co-hosts. And weekly, we will be coming to you to bring you the latest information in the world of agriculture. We invite you to join us every Saturday from 10 to 10:30. Join us. Come on, take an adventure.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.